A quiet but consequential announcement from Treasury reshaped our country's fiscal outlook. Minister of Finance, Minister Godongwana, confirmed that the proposed VAT increase, initially at 2%, later revised down to 0.5%, would no longer proceed. By morning, the DA had already framed the reversal as a legal and political victory. A delayed coalition press briefing at the Sun followed, aiming to project cohesion, but failing to explain how the government now intends to offset the estimated 75 billion rand revenue gap left behind. Instead of clarity, the briefing offered political theatre. Coalition partners issued competing statements claiming influence while undermining one another. The DA was accused of leveraging the budget process for unrelated policy concessions, while other parties warned against treating any single player as a fiscal savior. This decision, while politically expedient in the short term, leaves the structural revenue gap unsolved and Treasury silent the next steps. The reversal exposed deeper challenges within our governance model. The VAT proposal was introduced with minimal coalition consultation, reflected a legacy mindset that no longer fits in the multi-party environment. The retraction may have diffused the immediate legal pressure and cooled political temperatures, but it's also weakened institutional authority. For the small business sector, the reversal came with real operational consequences. Many SMEs had already begun updating financial systems and compliance tools to accommodate the tax charge, only to have to reverse those processes, often at cost and now at short notice. It also raises concerns about how government communicates and manages fiscal transitions, particularly for the businesses most vulnerable to disruption. These immediate disruptions, they're unfolding against a backdrop of persistent macroeconomic stress. Input costs continue to rise, food inflation remains elevated, bond markets have begun pricing an additional risk on the South African debt, driving up the cost of borrowing. And at the same time, domestic growth forecasts have been downgraded, with Treasury's 1.9% estimate for 2025 now widely seen as very optimistic.
IMF has downgraded our GDP for 2025 to 1%, which is nothing and frankly below population growth. Our budget, of course, penciled in 1.9%, which kind of makes the debate over the VAT increase a bit moot. But either way, our economy is in trouble.
Treasury now faces a narrowing set of options. Either it tables a politically feasible fiscal adjustment in the medium-term budget policy statement, or it risks being seen as a technocratic agency increasingly out of step with the realities of coalitionary governance. The absence of unity in the GNU and on where to cut or what to protect makes effective budget planning for the country very difficult in the future. And unless these gaps are addressed, fiscal paralysis becomes a real possibility.